What are you doing?
Right,
for
okay.
God's sake.
Right, boys, welcome back to ENNIT MUSH, episode 2. We are joined with the one, the only, the slayer, the conqueror of TikTok, Mr. Kofi Tyrell. How are we?
I'm alright, mate. You alright?
I am good. Adam?
Very well, thank you.
We literally just got back from the gym, didn't we?
Yeah,
Let's,
I can't tell.
how'd the session go, guys? How do you reckon?
Very lovely. Filmed some lovely TikToks.
Yeah, we did. You'll probably see it probably when this is out, to be fair.
Very
on
sus
TikTok that
TikToks.
were recorded.
Say.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us, Kofi. Let me just start by saying that. Obviously, we really, really appreciate it. Drove a very long way to come here.
Of course.
So you guys appreciate it.
You
as
took
well.
a ferry.
Yeah, let him know. Show him some love in the comments. But yeah, Kofi, I asked him like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, if he'd be welcome to come on. He said yeah. So we may as well just dive straight into it. In terms of obviously, in terms of like fitness, obviously, how did you start? How did you get into it? Why did you get into it? Yeah, training. Just
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always wanted to be muscly.
yeah,
My whole life. Like when I was a kid, growing up in primary, I was like, I've got to be a big man. I've got to, lift some weights.
yeah.
And I always thought I'd be like a gym person eventually. But to be
Where
honest,
do you think that come from?
my mum's boyfriends, to be honest, they
Oh,
were
okay.
always
Yeah.
hench. So I was just like, oh, that's what a man looks like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I started off just doing like little sports and clubs here and there in like high school. Like I did like a parkour club, and I did like street dance for a little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I started doing kickboxing because I thought, well, to be honest, I was bullied in like year 7 or 8, and my mum thought it might be a good idea if I got into something like that, just so I'd at least be more confident.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, just
What
over
was
time.
that? What was that? Because of was that like literally just because you're smaller than the other people, or
I was quite chubby, to be honest. Quite fat.
oh, so they were just
fat child.
rinsing you because you were
Yeah,
fat?
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And I was terrible at football, and like,
Fucking hell. Right, sorry about that. The mic literally just fell off the chair. Anyway, where were we? So started the gym. The reason why you started, got bullied. At
yeah, I
school.
got bullied. I was a fat kid. And to be honest, I was just sort of I started doing kickboxing because I thought it was fun, and I was competing and stuff, and
Okay.
I really liked the people that I went with.
Yeah.
And it was the upstairs part of like a Les Mills gym, and like the downstairs area was the free weights, and upstairs was like a flat studio where we did the class, and everyone else that did the class also went to the gym, so it was literally just a case I'm gonna go as well.
Yeah.
And then I just enjoyed it more. Start going.
Oh, so talk me through. You first went in that. Was you training with mates?
No, I went completely by myself. I didn't know
old were you
anyone
then?
there. Pardon?
How old were you then?
When I started, I was like 13.
Fuck, you were going in the gym then?
Oh no, not gym. Gym.
Yeah.
Gym. I was 16.
Okay.
I was 16 when I started.
And just went in by yourself, started smashing it.
Yeah. I just went in. I used to watch Russell Orhe, so I got most of my like information
Oh,
from
okay.
sort of
Yeah,
watching him, and then whatever YouTube videos I picked. Like how to get a 6-pack in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
what was that guy called that did those videos? Was he was it
He was
Mike
like-
Chang or something like that?
it was like 6-pack shortcuts. or
Yeah, that
something
was
like
it.
Yeah.
He was a short Asian guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny.
mate, literally, that's how everyone got started.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just sort of started doing my own research before I started going, so I didn't feel like an idiot, because I just feel more comfortable if I know what to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I just started going by myself and did it. I met some mates in the gym,
Yeah.
and then I met some mates at sixth form,
Oh, okay.
and that was like my main sort of motivation to start with, going with a group.
Yeah.
The first it was by myself.
So, how long was it into then you realised, like, holy shit, like, I can deadlift a lot? Like, how did that come about? How did you, or, like, what, did it ever click? You were like, okay, this is my, like...
It was when I met my mate that I was training with starting on at sixth form. He
Yeah.
asked me how much I could deadlift, and I told I think it was 180 at the time. I'm not sure, but my first ever deadlift was 160. At 16, I did 120 when I was 14. That was the only gym session I did.
That's mental. And how much would you be in weighing then?
I was about 73.
Oh, because you say you came from chubby.
I was 66 when I started doing kickboxing.
Have you grown a lot since then? As in height? Were you short?
Yeah, I was about 5'6'7" when I started going gym. So I've only grown like 2 inches.
Was that conventional or sumo?
Conventional. It was double overhand, no.
Just 160 straight away.
And then I got so I hit 180 like the next couple weeks. I told my mate who I met in sixth form, who asked me because we were going to like a military college gym for like, and he was like, "Oh my god, that's a crazy number," and I was just like, "Oh, cool." We started training together. He was a lot bigger than me. He was like 110, something like that, kg. And we were around similar strength levels, and we had like a sort of rivalry for the first year or so of training.
Yeah.
And it just sort of went. To be honest, he told me about a powerlifting competition that was going on local, which was held at the gym I used to train at, where I hit all the most of my videos are recorded in that gym. So I went there, did a powerlifting comp. The first 4 weeks of training, literally had no idea what I was doing. Form was terrible. I didn't know any powerlifting culture or rules or anything. I think I did 90 on bench, 130 on squat, and 180 on dead.
Pretty mad, isn't it?
And
it's nuts.
Yeah, and because of that comp, everyone there was like hyping me up. Because there's not many powerlifters where I'm from. Not many people train and like seriously.
Not many people over, is that?
Well, yeah, not really. Well, the strongest deadlift on the Isle of Wight ever is like 305 or 330 in a suit.
What?
So
you are the strongest deadlifter. Like you have and also you have the ability to lift the heaviest weight ever in the Isle of Wight.
Not quite, because my PR's 300.
Yeah, but you have the ability. You can
probably
get it.
Yeah. Time, like if I keep going, I could probably.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is cool. That is sick. That's just like Isle of Wight's strongest man, just in your bio.
There are strongman competitions on the Isle of Wight.
Is there?
Yeah, but I just.
Yeah, that's it. That's pain. That stuff just looks painful, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, so everyone was hyping me up and saying like, "Oh my god, you're so sick." I think a couple more months went by of me sort of powerlifting training. I turned 17 early January, a couple of days after I hit 230 deads, and the comp was a couple months before.
How old were you when you hit 230?
So just turned 17. A couple of days after I turned 17.
That is mental.
It was weird as well because my PR then was 210, but I hit 210 the week before. Around this time, I would deadlift like 10 days in a row because I'd
love it so much.
I'd be like an idiot kid, and I'd think like, if I max out every day, maybe this day
it'll feel easier.
So I did like 10-ish deadlift sessions, back to back, day in, day out, next day, and then after about 10, just randomly went from 210, which was like really, really hard when I did it, to an easy 220, a relatively easy 230, and I got 240 to my knees, and I dropped it. I couldn't lock out.
Yeah.
And then that was when the first sort of over.
That's nuts. That must have been like the turning point of like, okay, this is my movement. Like you just randomly, just 4 days later, after continuously doing the movement, you add just like that much on. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely like natural talent and genetically gifted for that lift.
I'd say so.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think at 16, I think I went 40, maybe with a like bent back, like nothing like that. That is just.
We had another mic.
Yeah, sorry about that, boys. Honestly,
that's
the last of it.
To be honest, I feel like most of my deadlift is just genetics and technique. Like I'm a very technical person, and I like to do everything as efficiently as I can, especially in the gym. And around that point in time, obviously, because I was naturally good at deadlifts, I cared a lot.
Yeah.
So I would do as much research as I can. I would screen record Instagram videos of high level powerlifters.
Yeah.
I'd slow it down and like really think about what they're doing.
Really?
Yeah, and I tried to just educate myself on.
You can definitely tell from like the advice that you gave our friend Luke in the gym, and like just the way you spoke about it. It wasn't just like, oh, well, you could do this. It was like you really knew what you were talking about. So you've obviously researched it and really put time and effort to get good at the lift.
Thank you. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just that's just where my interests sort of lie. I just like, I don't know. I just like being technical about things,
like perfection.
Yeah. Well, when I was doing kickboxing, we never really did like spin kick, but I taught myself the tornado kicks and like the useless ones, to be honest, and like the spinning kicks and whatever, just because I thought they were really cool. Yeah. But, like if I'm interested in something, I'm on my way.
It's weird because funny enough, like when my first thing I ever started was kickboxing. When I was like 5 years old, did that till I was.
I did kickboxing as well.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that a lot of it's one of the
guys make kickboxers over here.
Yeah, I did kickboxing and then boxing.
Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah.
So, I think like it's one of those when you're into something like that, it can definitely like transfer over because it's obviously a physical activity, and obviously
you crave that.
I'm quite similar as well. Like if I'm either 100% into something or I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Like so, and it is good. I have that mindset of like I can't just do it. I've got to find like I'll like sit there and watch multiple videos. Like bench press, I've done the same as you. Like I've watched like videos how to the perfect technique, but not just off like the typical like like 10 top tips. I'm talking like really watch like technical powerlifters and try my best to learn that lift.
That's kind of a bad thing for me because I keep burning out. Like I keep getting interested in stuff. I've done this my whole life. I get interested in something, get really into it, and I do it all the time, and then I'm like,
you just wake up and you're
I'm
like,
just not that interested in
that.
It.
Literally sounds like. That's like that's me.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened for deadlifts. Like that's the main reason I lost most of my gains. Like I was hyping up 300 for a very long. Like I was 17. I was maybe 4 months off turning 18, and I was at 280 or 270, not sure, 270, 280, and I really wanted 300 so bad, and I wouldn't accept 290, wouldn't accept 295, wouldn't accept 280.
Yeah.
And I was just aiming towards that big number, and because I was stressing myself out over it, I was like, I hit it before I turn 18,
yeah,
so that I can blow up in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, that's what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
And I got it to my knees the day before I turned 18, and I was so upset. I almost cried. I was on the bus and I was legit like.
Yeah, because I guess you
just building up to that.
Yeah, you've got emotionally.
And then we had another lockdown.
You convince yourself that your whole existence relies on that.
Emotionally invested yourself into
100%. Like if I don't do it,
your world just ended there.
Yeah. So and then it took me another like 6 months to get it, and then when I finally got it took so long.
What do you think the reason why it took so long? Was it because you were going for it, and when you didn't get it, you were just completely demotivated, or
I trained like a bloody? I would literally max out.
So you just poor programming, basically.
I see. My programming was really good because I had a really good coach, and I was very invested in learning programming. Yeah, because I wanted to be an online coach at the time.
Okay, yeah.
So my programming was good. It was just I would skip accessories, and I would legit. I'd swear to God, there was like a month where I didn't do a single exercise. I'd come into the gym only on deadlift days. Deadlift, finish.
So like you were bench.
I've done that on bench.
When you first started?
Yeah, I probably did. Like I think I went in bench and then just bicep curled, went home.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I would literally just deadlift technical fighters.
Yeah.
What do you think plays the biggest role in say like a heavy compound lift, like a deadlift? Is it genetics, or is it? Would you say genetics or technique? What? Obviously, they both sort of they're required, but what is the bigger factor?
Like in terms of how good someone.
How good, yeah. If I like put more effort in than you, a lot more, and my technique was a lot better, but you've got way better deadlift genetics. Like you're just built better for it, and you think that is just like you're winning.
I think obviously your absolute like genetic limit is just a 10. Like with the biggest number I will ever be able to lift could be higher than someone else just because of the way my leverages are and just the way my genetics have ended up with me being. But I feel like when it comes to improvement, but I feel like when it comes to improvement of a compound, it's more to do with like how hey pussy.
The cat's at the door.
Yeah. It's more to do with like how you can visualize your technique.
Yeah.
And how you can make changes, how good you are with your cues. Because like I feel like you're always going to be stronger if you're imagining a bench press or a shoulder press really mechanical, like you're just a machine and you're a crane, you're just a fulcrum, you're just
like
doing the bloody
one
A
unit.
to B, mate.
Yeah.
If you, like, I feel like you'll always lift better if you're thinking like that than if you're. I just
Step
need
1,
to be
2,
strong.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like just being strong and like really knowing
How to
leverages,
lift,
how
yeah.
much tension to put in, etc.
Yeah. It's like really impressive to think that like only it was 19, and like was it how much do you weigh at the moment?
75 at the moment.
And how much did you weigh when you deadlifted? Wasn't it 77 or something?
I was 77 when I did.
Yeah, so like that's just unbelievable. Like
Fucking like 4 times body weight, man.
like,
It's fucking nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. It's just mad, isn't it? Really.
Do you have an all-time deadlift goal, like in your life?
Well, I mean, like I wanted. So when
I'm guessing it was 300.
Well, before, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just before, you get 400, and then obviously at the moment I'm just trying to get 300 again. But I would love to. I'm really excited to see be able to.
Say you take off 300, yeah, and just recovery, eat, everything is programming is perfect. What do you reckon you can get? Do you reckon you'll be able to get up to that 400 within time?
My whole lifting career, I've been so convinced, and I'm not sure now because I don't really think about it that much now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
But before, I was so convinced.
I think it's definitely a possibility. Like you got to think you're only 19 years of age, and like, I mean, you're still basically still going through puberty. Like you still got a lot of like growing. It's like, I mean, I'm 23 now, and I'm still making
23.
23, yeah.
What? I did not know.
How old do you think I am? You know how old I am?
20.
21. 22 in November.
Let's guess.
So you've still got like, I mean, you've still got like a massive growth from like 19 to like
that's mad
into your early 20s. Like I've definitely noticed it definitely makes you that you will gain a lot of strength just from getting older.
I think it's like the stabilization of the hormones as well, 'cause it's like all over the place when you're going through puberty, and then as soon as that stabilizes out, just like if you put the work in every session, it's like you just like have it there. Do you know what I mean?
And I'm a lot better in the gym now as well. Like because when I was younger and immature. And
You fuck around,
like.
not
But
focused.
now I'm
you know what's going on type thing. Who's the you must have seen him before because obviously you're into your deadlifts and stuff. Who's the guy with the blonde hair that's sponsored by Hardbody?
Tyson Rodnell.
Yeah, like you watch that kid and you just think
he's insane.
I don't think I've seen him.
He's
you definitely
has he pulled it? He hasn't pulled it. No, he pulled 800 or 900.
I think
can't remember.
So close to 400.
His PR is ridiculous. It's like 800 pounds.
Fuck.
I
just literally you've seen the is it SpongeBob when he just like pulls the bar and his arms just pull off? Or no, it's Toy Story. He goes to like pull the bar up and his arms just come off. And
I think
it would just be me if I went anywhere near that way.
But like, does that inspire? Like, seeing people like that, does that inspire you because you're on basically on his level to a certain extent? Like, you still can get up to that point, and you obviously know you're mechanically gifted and like talented for that lift. Is that what you or you kind of how do you inspire yourself? You know what I mean?
Not really people like him because I don't personally. I don't really like his form, and he's not natty,
isn't he?
But I compare my.
Oh, that's devastating. That's devastating.
When I compare myself to people,
is that open?
Similar. I believe so.
I never knew that.
So. Well, I've seen him talking about him on MK.
Oh, okay.
And he's blown up recently, obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I look at someone who's like got similar build to me, or like similar age, natural, like someone that I can relate to in some way, I'll find inspiration through that. But to be honest, for the most part, it's just me. Like I just focus on.
You find it quite easy to inspire yourself then?
Well, obviously, I mean, for the past like year or so, I've been struggling a lot with motivation for the gym. But before that and now, it was mostly just myself. It was more excitement, like of just finding out what I can do.
Right, yeah.
And just like having.
What do you know on TikTok now? Why do you think now that there's like thousands of people that can just deadlift 200 kg like as soon as they walk in the gym. Whereas when I first started, or I know it's less popular, but still, like the most I like when I was younger, I saw anyone do around my age group, 16, 17, 18, was like 150. Like it was.
I just think more people are getting in the gym now, so more genetic freaks are trying out.
Just discovering.
Also, I have a theory that people are just getting stronger. People are generational, generation by generation. I feel
that's what they say. Don't they say we're just getting stronger,
yeah.
bolder,
the way world records have gone over the years.
bigger. Yeah,
I think as well though. Obviously, TikTok's only recently it's still new, isn't it? It's a very new platform.
Mm-hmm.
There might be it's obviously the more people, it's like anything, like I bet when the internet come around, people will see a lot more people that do different stuff because you don't have that platform to see it. Whereas because TikTok fitness has blown up over the last 2-3 years, especially over lockdown, that's probably why you're seeing a lot more people that you would never have gone to the gym, have been inspired to go to the gym. And there's people out there that probably could walk in the gym and deadlift 250 kilos straight away.
Exactly.
There is genetic freaks out there. And this TikTok and like fitness inspirations obviously got these people that would never have gone to the gym into the gym and inspired them to do stuff. Do you know what I mean? So that could be another like reason why.
You've also got a really good physique as well. You've developed like a really good physique from like obviously your training. Obviously that wasn't. I'm guessing it was sort of your goal, but once you discovered the deadlift, how good you were at it, it was more of a focus of like improving that lift.
Yeah.
Have you got any aspirations in terms of like competing or like naturally or anything like that? Because obviously I feel like you would do well, yeah.
Thank you for saying I'd do well.
No worries.
Because I don't think I would. And I don't think I'd ever be able to compete in bodybuilding.
No?
Because, well, the way my diet is, because I've mentioned before on my YouTube, I'm a very, very picky. And I'm very, very, like, very picky. And I don't eat a lot of food, and I'm not really good at, I just eat what I want.
Yeah, we walked into Mackey's and I ordered like the chicken mayos plain, took like the lettuce and mayo off. Kofi orders a Big Mac, takes the lettuce off, takes the Big Mac sauce off,
Take the cheese off.
takes the cheese off,
Yeah.
and just puts bacon on.
With Ben's exactly the same. Like I got to tell him this. So Ben's thing at the moment is his fad bulking diet. So he'll go, no, this is just mental. He'll ring me up on Facebook or we'll speak to him on Discord, and he'll go, guess what, Ad? And I'll go, what? He goes, I know I'm gonna do it. I'm like, what? Bulking. I'm like, here we go. Like, yeah. So I'm gonna have a cherry bakewell out every meal because that'll be like an extra 2,000 calories or something like that. And I'm like, all right then. 2 weeks later, yeah. So I've been eating 20 mini pork sausages. Yeah, it's about that many calories. And the last one he said, yeah, so I'll just probably smash like 200 grams of cereal per meal. And I'm like, are you? And then it's just something new. So Ben's fad bulking diet is just mental. Like cherry bakewell, I just can't believe it.
It was. If I have an extra 5 cherry bakewells a day on top of what I'm already eating because I really like them, that's an easy 1,000 calories.
That's his motto. It's an easy extra 1,000 calories, right?
To be honest, I get most of my calories from Lucozade. To be honest, so
I just can't do it. Then I'm like, oh, I really like cereal. I find it really easy to eat. So I'm like, I'll just have 4 bowls of cereal a day.
4-litre bottles of normal full fat Coke as well.
I just can't do it. I just can't eat. I just can't be fucked to cook either. Like it's like I just can't be bothered. I literally be there every 2 hours, like cooking away when I don't have the time to do it either. And like,
for me, mince and rice been like the absolute
I like
savior meal.
mince and ketchup. Tastes like burger.
I don't like any condiments. No sauce at all. None. Ketchup, mustard.
I think you've took it a little bit
These
too far
nuts.
there.
Nothing.
To be fair, when I dieted mince and rice,
Good.
Little trick, yeah. If anyone who wants to eat mince and rice, is do 2 chicken stock cubes in with the rice, and then obviously you cook it with the rice, and then it's like kind of like chicken flavored rice with mince, and I can just eat buckets of it.
Mince and rice is it's such an easy meal. It's so easy to cook, so easy to eat,
and to digest as well.
You just put it on, leave it on.
Yeah.
Rice. You need to fucking stir it.
What mince do you have? What percent fat?
I literally say, hey shopping, can you get some mince?
Do they look fat or are they the skinny ones?
I think they've got a fair bit of fat.
Oh, okay.
But I cook them with butter just so I can fry them a little.
Oh, okay.
No.
Definitely.
Little crust on the mincicles.
So what? So obviously, you found out you could deadlift loads. When did that become like, oh, I'm gonna start posting on TikTok? Not even obviously the trend that blew you up, but when was you like, okay, I'm gonna just start posting on TikTok now?
I started posting on Instagram the moment I started training, because I posted on my personal.
Okay, yeah.
And then I made a fitness. And I mean, I can't really, to be honest, I can't remember. I know there was a time when like TikTok was like most people to dance.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like,
yeah.
oh, it's Musical.ly.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna download. And then I saw that it was not actually starting to become a normal app.
Yeah.
And then I just, oh, it was Sush. Sush said in one of his early modcasts that TikTok is the way to
Grow your account.
At this current point in time.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's fucking nuts what he's been able to achieve like over the past few years. Just like started fucking around on TikTok. His videos, like no hate to him at all. He didn't put any effort like into his videos, just talking to the camera with his phone. Like, and it was just like, he just blew up. And then like his YouTube just blew up and just everything. Pretty crazy, and how he was able to literally just take his whole audience.
He just came in at a really good time.
The platform
came in when fitness was new.
Yeah.
TikTok.
And he was like, he was
like a pioneer.
Yeah.
100%.
I think if I find out like new like these new apps or like YouTube and stuff, like it's very hard to like get unless you've got like a really outstanding personality or that something crazy you can do. It's really hard to after that certain amount of time to get into it and try to make yourself like a known person. Do you know what I mean?
Impossible to do it on purpose, I think, unless you're really,
you're going
really
in with
smart.
that mindset.
I think that most people just fall into it accidentally, like the viralness of a good video.
I think realistically, the only way that you deliberately blow up is if you have a really good idea.
Yeah.
And like there's a good idea.
Yeah, no one's done it.
Because before I started into Kofi, I was saying on my private story, like, this has to, and I was determined, and I kept posting it over and over again. I just kept spamming it.
You knew it was just gonna.
Well, I just thought like no one else is really doing it. It's kind of funny. You might do it.
Was your idea going into it like, oh, this is funny, or like was it like, oh, I'm gonna shit on them?
Oh no, it was funny.
It was just for them.
Yeah. Because is the first ever one I did was like on my mate. Like my mate was, you know how sometimes on TikTok you see people just do it in videos, like just thousands of people, just constant deep like stitches and duets.
Just react.
Yeah, and it was a deadlift. It was one guy deadlifting, next guy 160. And it was like, who can do this weight the fastest? And then it was me with like 260 for a double. And then and that was the first one, and that did all right. Sort of around the best views I had at the time.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, could do another one, then another one, then another one, and it was just that. It just went from there.
How many have you actually put? Like, do you know any? How many do you do at them?
I was doing like 3 a day, and I was posting. I was doing that consistently, a month and a half.
Fuck.
And then I sort of
because
I kept reusing the same clip, so I didn't want to keep.
Yeah.
And
so that just how do you think you fell into that? When you started struggling with eating and struggling with the motivation, how do you think you sort of fell into that? Was it
that was just before?
Oh, that was before.
Yeah. So I started posting them around like September 2020, but I hit 300 July, and I was like, after that I was going.
Oh, you sort of got like
I was like
you're over it.
Yeah, I was just over it, and I thought I wasn't really going anywhere, like in terms of because obviously when you start going gym, you start posting.
Yeah.
So at the time I started going college for level 2 gym instructor, and then level 3 training, so I could do that as my job and my career.
That's what I did before I started TikTok as well.
And what I planned on becoming an online coach. That was like what I wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was just like, oh, this is working out now. And then I finished college.
That's nuts.
What was that? What was that? Going back to the deadlift, like what was that feeling of when you hit that 300 kg? Was it like the most like?
Be honest, I haven't convincingly hit it. I still to this day I haven't really hit 300 kilo. I hit it with 2 attempts, got it to lock out both times, and like a soft lock. So like my knees weren't fully locked, or the bar was like.
Does that stuff, because you're quite technically minded, does that bother you a lot?
Not really. No, after I did that, I was like, in the video, I literally, because my one of the staff members was watching me do the lift, and he was always there every single time.
Yeah.
Like my best mate. And I said to him after, I was like, fuck off, I'm counting that, that's mine. And I just, because the first one, the bar drifted a bit, so I dropped it on the floor. Yeah, he was like, yeah, I wouldn't really count that, but I hate you so much.
Do you think that the demotivation for gym, like that you spoke about after you hit that, do you think that's because you emotionally invested yourself so much in that lift that was your end goal, and you didn't like, because you hadn't thought of anything after, it was just like you kind of just lost that, like, I want to do this type feeling?
It was more how long it took from the failure to the one where I count it. Right, because it was so long apart, and because I hyped up the first attempt for so long, like on my socials,
you've had like
for 2 months I was like,
for people
I'm gonna
watching.
hit 300 in a month. Like I was literally doing that. So, and because I was embarrassed by that, it was just very demotivating how long it took, and I was just like, oh, like when I hit, I was just like, you know what I mean? It was just, oh, I'm done. There you go. I'm tired of it. But now. Spark.
Yeah.
You enjoying training now?
Oh yeah. I'm starting to really enjoy deadlifts.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How are they going up now?
Last set I did was I only did 217.5 kilo for a 3x4, but I'm just trying.
When you're deadlifting like that, when you're done with that lift, is there any part of your body that's like sore or hurt? What is that bit of tension you feel?
When I started deadlifting, I got a little bit
low back,
but
even with sumo,
not so much with sumo. Sumo, nothing at all. But over time, it just went. Like with that consistency, you just get tough.
I
just adapt to it.
I definitely think that's definitely right, because some people like complain about a lot of lower back pain, and my motto can be a bit stupid, like, but I kind of like, I'm a bit like, if I hurt myself, I'll just keep going, I don't really care. But I've noticed, because I used to get lower back pains all the time, like tight back, or I used to have like a clicking shoulder and stuff, but because I've literally just gone, I'm not advising anyone to do this, it's not like, I'm not a medical expert for anyone who breaks their arm or something, like, or dislocates their shoulder, but I just work for it, and for some reason I never had that pain again, because your body just gets accustomed to that lift, and it just adapts, doesn't it? 'Cause your body does adapt to anything you want to do, really, doesn't it? So
literally, like, I hear that all. Don't do deadlifts because you get back pain.
Yeah, because you don't do them enough.
Yeah. If you do deadlifts, you won't get back pain ever.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a way to avoid it? Do you build up slower or just?
Yeah, it's more a consistency thing than technique, strength, mentality thing. I think it's just the more you go, your body is. Most people don't go to the, like, for example, I recently started training my dad. He's going, go to the gym sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just about keep going. Eventually, that soreness, the feeling of it feeling awkward goes. You start to enjoy it. It's just a consistent.
So, in regards to TikTok, is there any sort of trend that you've seen that's just like what we were talking about last episode was like optimal? Like, this is you shouldn't deadlift, it's not optimal for back growth. You shouldn't do a lat pull down, it's not a lat pull down, it hits your upper back. What do you think when it comes to optimal training? Like, you shouldn't do that because it's not scientifically optimal.
I don't really agree. I think people now trying too hard,
100%,
like, do the right thing. I don't want to. Like, they're so terrified of going to the gym and just figuring stuff. You know what I mean? Like, most people now. I'm on the right right thing.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
And they don't want to have the wrong opinion. But don't stress about it too much.
100%
Whatever you
agree
enjoy,
with you, yeah.
whatever you think will get you where you want to be. That's all that matters.
I think we solely agreed with you. Like when I last, it was exactly what you said.
That's exactly what we
I
said.
think like people, you think too much into. Obviously, don't want to go too, but like, I think people think too much into going to the gym and too much of what they're going to do, and they skip programs because they didn't make progress week to week and stuff. But you've got to do what you enjoy, like you said. You just got to get in there and do what you got to do. You know, it's too much overthinking, and that will put you off anything in life.
Once you talk, I'm just going to check some questions. Go ahead.
Well, it's just like most teenagers, like when they watch fitness stuff online and they want to get into it, it becomes their life. It becomes the thing that they want to do. Yeah. Well, it just becomes the thing that they want to do all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And because of that, they internalize it as like, this is my life path. Make sure
Yeah,
I
yeah.
And it's just it's just a part of your day, isn't it? It's only an hour out of your 20. Only 2 out of your 20.
Yeah, yeah.
3 out of your 20. It's just like, just do what works best for you.
Yeah.
And let your body just make the changes. But
yeah, because if you're going to the gym and you're going in there and you're going, I don't really like doing this, but my favorite person or person you follow, it tells me to do it. Then are you going for the right reasons? Are you doing that exercise just because you're being told? If you're not enjoying it, just don't do it. You know what I mean? You should, like you said, it's only an hour out of your day or however long you go for. You want to enjoy that time and not just like think, oh God, I've got to go. You want to do something you want to do.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I completely agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
It needs to become a passion. It can't just be what. Like, it can't just be like,
yeah,
scientific.
this, what I've got to do, and if I don't do this today, that's it.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's what demotivated me, because I'd go into a session and I literally could not. I would never have a good workout because I would just all the time. All I'm thinking about is like technical, like where my feet, the placement of my feet, and the angle of my knee, and
just stressful
stuff like that. Yeah, and like it's mentally exhausting.
I went through months, like I'm not even exaggerating, months of this on deadlift. Like I've only recently just started lifting the bar, just do it, you know what I mean? But I went through months of putting my feet here, put my feet there, hands closer, and like at some points I literally looked like a cat that was shitting, and it was just horrendous.
Well, I was saying this to you earlier, like with deadlifts, I don't think, like, so many people now, they're like, what's the right position? What's the best position? What should I, like, how should I start? Where should my feet be? Where should my hands be? But it's like I said to you, it's like, it's just about feeling until you're grabbing onto the bar
I'm just pulling it,
and it feels like I'm strong.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You just want to find that. Oh, I'm strong here.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like a. Yes. Well, the literature says that you should have your knees facing.
Yeah.
Like it's
overcomplicating it. That's what exactly. So if anyone's doing this, is going on the internet, and you can take advice from other people, but only you can find where you can lift from on every single lift. And like, what I was doing is I'd do a really good bend, like, yeah, that was good, like, then I'd watch someone and go, yeah, but that's not correct, you should have your hands here, and I'd swap it, and it would just be a revolving door of changing every week, and it just never got better.
It's just never going to end, is it? If you train like that, it's never gonna stop. You're always gonna find a new opinion.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be a new influencer that you like, and you're gonna listen to them.
So
they might think something different from the last one you cared about.
Yeah, exactly. So what I've done is literally I just went in one day and just found where I'm best from, videoed it, and kept perfecting my own form, not trying to watch someone else's video. I watched my own video.
You had a lot of problem with your hips coming up, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just where your hips started to come up, and then Paul, you've just started pulling from
literally from
angle.
there.
Yeah.
And it's just like the main cue that helped me was just staring at a fixed point on the floor, and literally that's instantly when it just clicked, and now every time it looks the same. So
yeah, that's a massive point that like a lot of people say, isn't it? Focus on that one spot, because a lot of people like will bend their neck or like push their neck too far down.
Oh yeah, setup is the most important part of a lift, of any lift, especially deadlifts. Like, if you are grabbing onto the bar and you're in a position where you feel like you're going to start pulling and you don't feel strong, to be strong, you need to feel good.
Doesn't
feel like
right, or
I really want to
awkward.
Stand up right now. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's just a point. It is a touch on. If you're one of those people that are going into the gym and not enjoying your lifts on any compound lift or anything that doesn't feel right, maybe just go in and don't think about it so much and just do it.
Yeah, well, it's just about. I'd say it's more just like picking one thing and sticking to it, and just deciding.
100%.
Yeah, like just don't worry about doing the right thing, or don't worry about what your mates are doing or what your favorite influencers do.
Yeah.
Just if you have a workout and you come out of the session thinking such a sick workout, well, you just keep doing that workout then.
Yeah.
If it works,
check some more weight on next time.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fool.
Exactly.
Yeah, get good.
Yeah, exactly.
Get good for you, not for other people's sake. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
How's your other lifts going anyway in terms of squat and bench?
Bench is the absolute best it's ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I got 105 for 6 the other day.
Fuck.
I think 107.5 for 6 actually, and that's an all-time PR. That's big PR.
Yeah.
Before that, my heaviest ever set was 105 for 4, and I'm kind of like notorious for having a terrible bench compared to my deadlift.
Oh, it's hard to fucking compare it to that, isn't it?
Well, I was gonna say if you think of the comparison, it's literally what 120 to. That's a pretty big.
Yeah, but it's a fucking big thing to compete against as well, isn't it?
I guess, but usually people.
Yeah.
But yeah, bench is the best it's ever been at the moment. Squat, I keep just doing pendulum or leverage squat is what it's actually called.
Oh yeah.
I refer to it as pendulum on my TikTok. Roasted for it. Yeah, leverage squat. I've just been doing that. It's a lovely machine. So
Do you feel like some of your power from deadlift like the lockout of the deadlift? Obviously, your sumo, so it's very much sort of knee flexion. Does that transfer over to any sort of leg power?
Squat will definitely help sumo deadlift. Absolutely.
A wide stance of squat or just
either, to be honest. Any sort of stimulation, like if you're training deadlifts once a week for longevity, that's only once a week where your lower body and your glutes and your legs are experiencing a heavy load. If you're squatting as well, or you're doing some sort of heavy leg movement throughout the week, you're constantly stimulated. You're not going through days or periods of possible and what you lose muscle
Regression,
atrophy. That's it. Yeah. Possible atrophy. So
I think what's like what I found was, because I've only recently like just started deadlifting, like literally for 3 weeks, like actually in programming. Other that's been touching. Just I'll do a deadlift this week now. Maybe do it next week. Yeah. But like I've only deadlifted once a week for about 4 sets, and this is and because of my squats though, I would definitely like. Well, just because of squats, it's definitely increased my deadlift. Just from doing squats, like
because you avoided squats for so long. When you eventually started doing them and doing leg days and developing that leg power, that drive off the floor, which is
a lot better. Yeah.
So if you're someone who is actually trying to get heavier deadlift and who is actually skipping legs because you're like, I want a deadlift and I want a huge bench, squats are boring. Yeah. You're just damaging yourself.
Legs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no like secret to getting stronger on any movement. It's literally just because gym is adaptation. Gym is your body adapting, doing to.
Yeah.
If you want to get stronger, you have to lift heavy. Your body has to be like, oh, that was heavy. I need to get stronger. Like you need to be regularly lifting heavy weights. So whether it's a squat or a deadlift, it's definitely going to help. Whatever exercise that you plan on improving, just as long as you're doing something that's lifting heavy, the other thing that's also lifting heavy is going to.
Yeah, you definitely need to hit the weights near your 1 rep max to increase your 1 rep max. Like
100%.
Yeah, I found that where I followed like perfect example. I followed quite a volume thing, and it was like it wasn't light. I mean, it was like
recently.
Literally
just.
And my bench improved because I was getting technically better, and my body was recovering fast because I was doing so much volume. So my 1 rep max was better, but I didn't find that it was like, oh, that increased so much, or do you know what I mean? I wasn't used to the heavy weights. So you need to train heavy to lift heavy.
Yeah, your rep max was a lot better. Like your endurance increased loads, but when it then came to doing that heavy weight, because you hadn't done it for so long and gone anywhere near it, your body I think was again like fucking hell.
With bench, I find consistency is sleep.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the more
100%.
I train it, like even during the week, like I'm friends with a lot of powerlifters. A lot of them have gone from twice training bench a week to 4 times training bench a week, 5 times. Obviously smart, not just doing the same session every day, or
Maybe
like
speed
or driving
and
to
heavy.
failure. Yeah, like smart programming, but benching multiple times a week is just that consistency. You just get better and better and better.
More like power building?
Pardon?
Is your split like power building?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I treat my sets more bodybuilding, except for this.
Yeah.
But I'd say I'm more of a power builder, just like by the exercises
You
I
enjoy
choose.
the bodybuilding exercises as well?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just recently I really started loving.
Just loves the pump.
It's just those slow reps. I just really like it. Like,
Yeah.
I really like the feeling
pain.
of, like, I just imagine it like.
I think when you slow those reps down and you feel it, as you just feeling that pain, in my mind, it's like this pain is literally translating to growth. Like, the more I make it hurt, the bigger my tits are going to be. Do you know what I mean?
I just love feeling that tension. I don't know,
Yeah.
just the feeling of resisting the weight and.
I think there's
like
a certain. I mean, with powerlifting, there's people like say there's no correlation between size and strength. I think, but people get to this so like because you're doing power building now. I feel like power building is like kind of a new. It's newish, isn't it? It's not like, well, it might have been around.
Yeah, it's a lot more
newish.
popular now. Yeah,
I feel like a lot. Like if you watch like Russell, like you're talking, he's like just quite power building style. I think so. Anyway,
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm sure. And if you see him, he looks like he could compete in professional bodybuilding.
Easy.
And he's natural. Yeah. I don't know, but he says he's natural anyway, so we'll just say he's natural.
Pass his drug tests. That's what we say.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of power building's become more of a thing because I think actually power building can be better than powerlifting in the sense that you get that gratification of your body's changing, and not all the time. A bigger muscle will eventually, in time, if you train it to, can lift heavier weight. So I think it's a lot more fun that now it's a new thing because I enjoy power building like the most out of everything because you get that element of I can hit a PR next week.
Yeah.
But then you look in the mirror and you're like, I look better as well.
Yeah, I think like it's a massive social media thing. Like if you're now say if you look like absolute shit and you post a 300 kg deadlift, your comments would just be but you look like shit though.
Yeah. Mass moves mass.
Yeah, and if you then look mint and you were saying, new PB 150 kg, they'd be like, you're weak as fuck for your size. So I think people are literally like conforming to like they don't want to be bullied, they want to be big and they want to be strong.
Well, to be honest, a lot of people. Well, I mean, when it comes to social media, a lot of people just don't want to admit that someone's. Like a lot of people will just try and convince, like, oh yeah, but you're sumo. Yeah, but you're I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've got brown hair. I don't want to hear it.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like you're more mechanically gifted, or your chest is slightly an inch higher on the bench, so you can do it better. And it's just looking for excuses for their own ego.
We're just humans lifting weights, mate. Like, why does it need to be compared so much? Like, why do you need to be better than me?
Your own name type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, people going to the gym. You don't need to. We're not actually competing in powerlifting. You don't need to try and
against
us. People get proper like invested. They're like, you can't do this because of this, and it's like, why does it matter to you?
Yeah, but I'm coming for you. Yeah, but one day my PR's going to be more than yours.
It's like
I'll get those loads.
You don't actually get any like prize out of beating someone online. You know what I mean?
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah,
funny.
But people will always be people, won't they? That's never going to change, is it?
So, do you have any goals in terms of social media where you want to take it? Like, is there do you want to, I don't know, start your own brand, start your own business, move somewhere?
I'm thinking of starting online coaching soon. I don't know when I'm going to launch it, but
like yourself.
Well, I mean, mate, I literally have no like actual.
What?
Basically, go follow my Instagram at Kofi.
There you go.
I'll let you know my story.
I definitely advise people when he does start it to, if you are looking for like someone that actually knows what they're talking about, me and Kofi have only recently met, but from the way he spoke, like told me and Ben and Luke on how to lift, he actually knows and has made effort to learn about his craft.
Yeah, it's not, you fell into deadlifting and you're really good at it, and it's just because I'm just good at it because I don't know why. Like, you can explain it really well.
Having a coach is just nice as well, because it's not necessarily like like you're a beginner and I'm gonna teach you everything.
No.
Like sometimes it's just nice to have a second
I
opinion.
feel like once you get to a certain level, you need it. Like you need that person, like saying, "Have you done this? Have you done that? You need to be doing this."
Well, it's just nice
so
to be
much easier.
Like, say you wanted to go a certain area with your training. Like, say I wanted to, I want to increase the amount of times I bench during the. I wanted to, or I say I was about to compete in a competition or whatever. It's just nice to have someone else that you can talk to about your training that actually cares about your training.
Yeah.
If you talk to your mate's just gonna be like, yeah, well, me, I just bloody did this as well.
Yeah, and
like it's just nice to have a second opinion.
And for a 19-year-old, you're like really intellectual and very well, like it very like it's easily to explain stuff to people. So yeah, I was quite like when you were saying to us, I was like, well, he actually knows. Like,
how he's doing it.
Yeah, just
it's not magic.
Thank you.
It's not just come out of nowhere.
I think it would be cooler if I just walked over and just stood up.
Yeah.
With like,
this is how you do it.
I think like that. Yeah, mate. Oh, buddy. Hard day at the. I don't know.
Just walks in. Luke says, "How do you do it?" And she goes, "Oh, yeah,
it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about like that.
It's just like this, mate. Just do it like that."
Well, usually I just do this with one arm, so I can't really show you on this weight.
Yeah. Today's actually a really weak day. He says as he pulls. Yeah.
Fuck's sake. There's a little bit of a juicy question. You're probably maybe expecting this one. Obviously, it is from someone they said to you, Kofi.
Yes.
Do you feel any way that Cardon stole your style for TikTok?
To be honest, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't actually like have a problem about it because realistically, I have no legal rights towards the Enter Kofi trend or the sound. Definitely not the song. The song's from the fucking Doom soundtrack. Yeah. But it's more of like I don't like seeing it. Like I don't when it first started happening, I knew who Evan was already because he's been in the industry for a very long time.
Yeah, so just in case you don't know, Ad, it's basically so obviously Kofi started the trend where he obviously stitches people that lift heavier weight, just absolutely mugs them. Yeah, and then this creator basically started doing it just out of nowhere.
He's done really well though, to be honest. He's got loads of followers now.
Blown up off of it as well. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, it's fine. It's I can't remember where I was going, to be honest.
Yeah, so I hate cutting people off.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Don't want to.
It's fine.
You forget where you're going. Yes, you have no right to the sound or anything. That's not what.
Yeah. So I don't actually have like a problem with it. It was just more like when I saw him doing it, I already knew who Evan was, and he's got a bit of a reputation. Like he's done some things. And
what things has he done?
I don't want to say, just in case I'm incorrect,
or
just in case I'm off in any way.
Rumors, yeah.
But I already knew who he was, and I saw him doing it, and to be honest, I was like, kind of like, oh my god, Evan Cardon's like, making Enter Kofi. This is cool because I knew who he was, and he was in the industry.
Yeah.
But then when he just started, when it became the only content he posted, I was a bit like,
fuck.
I was not a fan, and I've never spoken to him 1-to-1. I've been in his comments, but I've never like DM'd him. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really care that much anymore. But it did actually bother me.
Yeah, I don't think you should. I think so. Like it's hard. Like you don't want to like seem like you're like annoyed, but I think that it's fair to say like if you've created something and you've made an effort, you know what I mean, and obviously that's what your bread and butter is. You've got a right to feel a bit like it's that little feeling of like, oh, like come on.
Well, I don't care about people doing it. Like it was a trend at some point, and loads of people were doing it. It was just I just didn't like how he adopted it and was like, yes, I'm Enter Cardon.
The whole point of the trend on TikTok is say like, oh, it's your trend, so you created it. I'm either doing a video exactly the same, crediting you, and I'm just doing the video because it's a trend at the moment, and that's it. Yeah. That's fine. Like, but obviously he completely that's his sole content. That's his thing now.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, now he's obviously
Cardon's things that Enter Kofi.
Well, he's obviously doing well for himself now, and it's reached a point now where I don't care because now he's doing his own thing. Sometimes he posts videos that aren't Enter Cardon, and like I don't really have a problem with it anymore. I don't mind it because he's done well with it. He's been consistent with it. It's not like he's half-assed doing those videos.
It's not like
he still
he's just done it and for just to take your thing away. He's like
Yeah,
making
so
an effort with it.
So I rate it how far he's gone with it.
Yeah,
But it's just obviously it's just like
yeah, we get it. Yeah, I
It's
understand
just-
what you're trying to say.
just the way it looks.
Yeah,
Any other sort of? Has there ever been like any trends or craze that you've seen or anything like that? You've been like, like anything that sort of rattled you like that? Like,
Yeah, it's not really. I don't really get that much gym talk stuff
no.
on my For You page. Like most of it's either movie edits or people dance. To be honest,
Yeah.
or like just memes. So
Who
I don't
are
even-
your favorite creators then at the moment? Do you have any?
Fitness or normal?
Yeah, anything.
Do you SPMCU? I'll just say that SPMCU on TikTok. He's a movie editor.
Okay.
He mostly edits. He did mostly edit the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films,
but yeah, that's
shit.
pretty cool, then.
but his sounds were always really good, and I'd always use them, and I still now like sounds. I use them for his. But he just edits stuff, and it's just a great place to get sounds because he just makes them. He makes them
Constantly.
Yeah, and they've always got someone talking, so there's always like an idea that can come with the sound.
Yeah.
So
So
Okay.
it's like film. One of your are you quite interested in film then?
not studying like the.
Just you like movies?
I love watching films. I love movie
Okay.
edits. I love.
What about Marvel? Do you like Marvel?
I do like Marvel. I don't
Like
like
the Captain America shield coming out of the wall.
No, that's sick. I think that's really cool. But I like Marvel. I don't like the way it's going. I feel like it's
Yeah.
very
Tell me about
formulated.
Yeah,
The most recent movies have been shit.
I think I'm quite like, well, so's Ben, but we're like Marvel, like we are quite Marvel heads, like
Oh, yeah.
not the comics, but the Marvel MCU, so the online.
Cinematic universe.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but
I watch a lot of comic videos.
Yeah,
Loads. Yeah, loads.
see, I've been
All the time.
sometimes I kind of do that. I like watch like the origins of like people.
Comics explained. I'll just
Yeah.
watch like a 7-hour video.
I know, I think like, what am I doing? But I enjoy it. I've definitely
Hulk's
found
butt
the new
size.
Marvel films have been a bit like tacky, haven't they? Like all this.
I did like Doctor Strange 2 though.
Really?
Oh yeah,
The Wonder one.
because I really like Sam Raimi.
The Wonder one.
Yeah.
It just came out.
Yeah. Because you didn't like that.
No, I just
I
felt
thought-
like it was
yeah,
you
you
so...
took NPCs like.
No, the CGI
Sam-
at the start of it was.
It was just
terrible.
rushed. Like,
Wait, the what?
The CGI when he's climbing, when the octopus is climbing at the wall, and it's it's
okay.
so bad.
When
I just think it was really rushed.
I
The
rewatched
story
it on
was
Disney
like-
Plus, and I thought it was a bit. But when I saw it in cinema, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!" Like,
Yeah.
because I really like Sam Raimi, and I thought that was by far the most creative Marvel film. Definitely, 100%. Because all the others, they just follow the same formula.
I just felt like
Doctor
it was
Strange
like...
is my favourite. The first Doctor Strange has got to be one of the best Marvel films they ever made.
I really like.
'Cause it's so different. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's not like he didn't like. It's not it wasn't like a normal superpower. Like you know,
Yeah.
they were superhuman or super this. He was like it was completely out of there, wasn't it? So
I kind of don't like when fights in movies take the role of. Let me cast a spell at you.
yeah.
I'm going to fire lasers out of my head.
I get what
Like,
you're saying, yeah.
You know, yeah, it's just a bit boring because it's just the actor behind a green screen.
Yeah. It's not real. Like yeah, when you think about
Just a
it,
fucking-
could you actually imagine? Like, well, I always think like
Just looking...
when you actually watch it, you don't realise that it's just someone stood there and he's going like that. Like, how funny
Just
would that
rubbing
be?
it.
What? He's like, and he opens a portal.
Yeah. Oh, and then he walks through nothing.
Nothing, just
In real
walks.
life, it's literally just him going,
Just stepping.
taking
Yeah,
a step.
it's funny. Could you imagine what that is?
funny,
With Benedict, like, is it Benedict? Not Benedict.
Benedict
Benedict
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, and he's just stood there going.
I don't want to say come on the podcast. You're like, is it Benedict Cum? I don't want to say that.
But that is quite
See you,
funny.
Cumberbatch.
And like to say, like the Hulk's not even real.
Hulk is just Hulk. They
Really?
ruined him, to be honest.
Did
Sorry
you
if
know
I
that?
just broke anyone's heart.
The
like,
Hulk, did you know
isn't
that?
Real.
What?
The Hulk isn't real.
What do you mean?
I just said it then. The Hulk isn't actually real. Did you know that?
What, in real life? Are
Yeah, just not real.
you serious? You gotta be joking.
He is definitely. Any kids watching, he's real. You've actually just broke.
That's what I've got to
Kofi's
deal
heart.
with. It was you. You
Can't be
just
saying that about my Hulk, mate.
look at the PC.
go, yeah, the Hulk.
The
being
Hulk's
PC.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. That's cool.
It
I
is
like that.
cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little.
You're ridiculous. He's such a man child, isn't he?
Like set up some wiring, so it's like just a prop finger that just goes bonks his head every now and then. No.
That's funny. So, have you got any plans, content from now? Like, where do you want to take your channel at the moment? Your TikTok, your social media.
Well,
Is there a specific type of video you like making right now?
nothing I've found so far other than Kofi's. Like,
Yeah.
no specific thing I can keep doing. I just sort of, at the moment, I feel like when I sit and I go, oh, I need to make a video. It's never good. Like, because I just overthink it, and I'll come up with like something funny, and then I go, no, it's not funny, and then I'll make it less funny, and then it'll just keep going.
Keep bottling it down into nothing.
And so for me now, at the moment, I'm just like, I think of something and I can do it, and it's funny. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the moment, I'm just trying to create and be funny and just be as like, I don't know. I like videos that I can look back on and be like, oh, that was.
But you call it shit posting, don't you? That's what.
Yeah,
like, but
yeah.
that's
my favorite type of
that's
posting.
your favorite type of posting, yeah.
Like shit posting is just when it's not really meant to have like a purpose.
Yeah, you haven't thought out a storyline. Or something.
Yeah. It's not like a not.
We
super
filmed
high
some
quality.
funny ones today. Hopefully they come out as funny.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
we've
yeah.
imagined them.
Yeah, we'll see how they end up. Yeah,
Bearing in mind, I just sat there and like watched them like stroke each other's lips,
making
and
out,
stuff.
kissing each other.
Yeah, it was a bit sus. Like,
Yeah,
so
that bit wasn't for the video.
That was just,
That was just for
we're
fun.
just getting into
That's for
it.
another kind of website.
Yeah. That's funny.
Fuck. Anything you want to ask, Ad?
Yeah, I begs your cock now.
Body count? Body count?
What colour are they? Oh, I'm joking.
I think like, what would you say to younger people, anyone trying to either get into like TikTok or into just the gym, just anything, like what you're interested in? What's your like main life advice for people that are trying to get in? Because I feel like you're quite a good person at explaining stuff. Like, what would you tell people? Like, you know what I mean?
I think for socials, if someone younger watching this wanted to make it in not necessarily the fitness industry, but probably the fitness industry if they're watching this.
Yeah.
Just be as authentic as you can. Be yourself. Focus on like your feed and like making everything look professional and nice. Because
Right.
if you've got fit in your name, or you've got fitness in your name, then it's just a bit.
Wow. Ben Rogers was taken, by the way. So let me just put that out there.
Okay, you're fine. You're alert.
And-
Cool. I like you.
And
You
Ben,
heard it first.
Ben, there was nothing else. I think I tried like Ben Rogers, Ben.Rogers, Ben_Rogers. I'm telling you, every single fucking
yeah.
I
thing.
kind of see what
Was
you're
taken.
saying. Like,
But basically, just be yourself. Like anything that you actually enjoy posting, anything that you actually think is funny. Like, don't just go for the highest clicks. Don't just go, because it never usually works out, and it's not very sustainable.
Yeah.
As a
You're relying
as something
on
to
other
post.
people's.
you're trying to say like you want people to like you for your personality. and
well,
who
yeah.
you are.
If you're going for controversy, eventually there's gonna be a time where either you're tired of it and you want to change your content, and your followers aren't gonna like it because they
100%.
followed you for that, or it's just gonna feel not real. It's not like people watching it are gonna be like, he
Yeah, I
don't really
think
mean that, does he?
You're shutting off a lot. If you are going just for the controversy, and like a lot of these, like there's a lot of channels now that just solely pull people out or to
Mhm.
put shade on people. I think like you're kind of like shutting off a lot of avenues, aren't you? And you make yourself look like a dickhead in the end of the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Because people will go, if you can't, like you just said, it'll get dry. People, there's only so much hate you can get out.
There's actually won't mention their names, not trying to publicize it at all. But there's actually a group of people that on TikTok. There's like 20 of them, and you wouldn't have seen it. There's like 20 of them that basically started a TikTok page together to just shit on this one kid because he's not very big and he's selling programs. They think that he doesn't have the right to sell programs because he's not. He's not above 70 kg.
I think
there's billion in it.
If you don't like someone, ignore them, because all you're doing is giving them attention. All you're doing is going to give them more
Fueling their
success.
fire.
Yeah, and it's not a good look either way. Like, it just isn't a nice thing to do. I think if you want to like like make as many connections as you can. Try and be actually friends with people.
Yeah, you got to think at the end of the day, like, cool. Yeah, all 20 of you blow up. Like, fair enough. The odds of that happening is like just 1 in a million of all 20 of you or 50, however many it is coming up together. So all you're doing is just shutting off avenues, and just imagine you being that one person, and say like you're in this room and it's just you sat here and just all of you, just like you're skinny. You should be like, imagine how that would feel. Like that is the equivalent of it.
I think the world's lost a lot of sensitivity. Like people have got too much. It's too easy to say something.
There's
now
one
and
end
get
of the
away with
spectrum,
it,
innit?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like, but it's one extreme to the other. In little communities like ours it is, but in like mainstream, you've got to be really careful what you say.
I still don't think that's completely true. Like I think that if you look at like the
call
mainstream
someone,
media and like the
Oh
news
yeah,
stuff,
that's different.
like,
It's a completely different type of people, though. Really, like because gym people tend to be more on the
toxic side.
at least self-accepting, self-improvement side of things.
You'd think though, because everyone's
Mainstream
trying
tend to not be like that.
because fitness is such a like. It's quite like a lot of people you meet in the gym and stuff you get along with, don't you? Right? So you'd think because of the fitness industry is quite like you're all in it together. You know, you've got your own sole thing, but everyone's in it together and you motivate each other. Then it wouldn't be such a toxic environment. But it's like one of the most toxic environments. Like the amount of hate you see on people's TikToks and stuff, are like talking about people's physiques, and it's just uncalled for. But I just don't understand that at all.
I feel like there's loads of people trying to blow up, and those people aren't necessarily thinking about what's going to happen if they do, what their following is going to be like, what's it going to consist of, like what type of people do they want watching them, what stuff are they going to actually post after they've
how are they going to make money if brands aren't
like, are you just going to call out people and get a big following and then start posing and then get like 1k views, or are you going to find a content style that you can keep posting, something that you enjoy, something that you're proud of, and something that people really like?
You can watch back and go, oh, like I really enjoyed that. Not like, oh, I wish I hadn't said that.
Right, Max Lifts posts fantastic content, posts it all the time. Think about how many times people go on his comments. All of his comments are, Max, this is a sick video. I love you. You're the GOAT. No one says it because Max is like people say it because they like Max.
Yeah, they actually mean
they like Max. They like his videos. They really.
They're not saying you're the GOAT because you've just shit on someone.
Yeah,
it's actually you
can tell he's working hard. You can tell he's really trying, and that is really admirable. Max. And followers, like people that just watch content, they really appreciate that. If you're trying to make it, like it's either you go to the gym and you're a gym guy and that's all you are, and or you're a gym influencer who's trying to start beef, or like no one just goes to
just enjoys it.
Sets the camera up. Is a person.
Yeah.
Everyone's like,
I think there is people like that, but I think it's harder to find nowadays because I think as well it's quite intimidating to upload a lift or something you've done because you know that
Kofi might enter you.
Some other well, yeah, like you probably you do like say like 180 kilos at the same age as Kofi. Not saying it's your fault like type thing, but then you see someone else lift through and you're like, oh, I can't post it. So I think
it is hard.
But then I think people need to understand that you're you, and if it's good for you, upload it. You shouldn't be intimidated. Like you know what I mean. And
well, a lot of people are scared because like their friends or like people at school.
Yeah, definitely.
Or, like,
normally you're more scared of the people around you.
Well, I have to say, like when I started posting, I was bullied. I was bullied hard. Lots of people were making fun of me for it. Lots of people were like, "Ooh, here comes the bloody influencer!" When I'd walk into school or whatever, and people didn't like me for it, and people didn't like that I had that I was recording on my phone in the gym, and you've got to stop caring about those people because now I get, can you write me a program? Hey, can you? Do you want to go for a session?
Yeah.
Do you want to like? It's
always the way.
It's always how it is. It's always how it is.
It's so easy. It's so easy for these people that don't understand or don't have those life goals. Like, there's definitely a certain. You've got to be a certain type of person to like do these things. You've got to be quite in. You know, you've got to have big goals and stuff like that. And you meet a lot of people that will take the piss out of you, like, "Oh, I'd seen you on YouTube the other day," like, "Haha, YouTuber," like, or like, "You did that," or like, "Oh, you're posing in the mirror and stuff." Like, I've had it before, like people like I know from, "Oh, look at you, poser," you know what I mean? Or like, I get a lot of most of the people say, "Oh, you're roid head now" and stuff like that. I've never taken it, like, you know what I mean, in my life, and I'm completely natural. and people are like, "Yeah, you massive void."
To be honest, I thought you weren't that when I met you.
Really?
Yeah, you're big, mate.
They got. I tell him all the time. I said most people that would come up to you.
Yep.
I said like you're tatted up. You're like a huge personality. You're like just like all just crazy.
Just very 3D.
You look big, yeah. And I'm just like people will just not just think you're not natural.
And I think that's it's a compliment, isn't it? In the end of the day.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was more the fact that like people have got so much to say, and that like Kofi's a big example. Like until it starts working for them, and then they go, "Oh, actually, it probably was quite a good idea." And then like, "Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?" Or like, "Oh, I've always like real content," but you're just jumping on there.
Do you know how many people from school have like are still in my message requests? Haven't even bloody opened them because I'm not going to give them the time of day.
If I go uptown, it's like,
I'm so, Kofi, I'm really sorry for how. I'm actually really proud of what you've done now, and like I think you're amazing. We should go for a drink with the
like
public.
you're trying to impress them by doing it.
Yeah, it's like
it's like if you didn't like me at the start, you haven't changed. People like this is the truth as well. If someone didn't like you at the start and they've treated you like crap at the start, they haven't changed.
Well, it's who are you? Because like when you finish school, you don't fucking speak to half the people you see. Like they go off and do their next step in life, and we go and do ours. It's
100%. Like people, and there'll be a lot. Like if school kids are watching this, don't always like invest yourself on your schoolmates and stuff because you will meet a lot more like-minded people. So don't, if you haven't got a lot of friends at school, or you do, a lot of these people will. I know your parents probably tell you you need to make friends outside because these people go, but they will, and
they will.
But you will always find people that are better for you and are you in your group. And if these people that weren't bothering with you at school or weren't bothering you at college have suddenly started bothering you, you shouldn't bother with them back. Like you've got your own mates, and you shouldn't just feel. I don't know what the word for it is, but
yeah,
what I'm trying to say. Like
well, it's like even at college at the time, I was. This was just after I started like popping off. I think I had like 250k. And
so you just walk around college like just
no one recognised me.
250k.
But people in my class knew because I did PTing and stuff and stuff, so they knew, and they'd always make fun of me for it. And my teacher would like tease me for it and say it's not really a good career path and it's not really something I should be doing.
That's like,
but it's like
2010. Like you're just way behind there.
I didn't care because not only. I was smart about it. I didn't put 100% into thinking I'm gonna be an influencer. I'm gonna whatever. Like I wasn't stupid. Like I had a plan B. I had a plan C, etc.
What do you feel about that? 'Cause a lot of people now, it's like I see a load of these videos. It's like if you want to do this and you want to do this full time, it's like it's got to be your plan A. Like you can't even think about plan B because
you've got to drop this.
Yeah, but it's like a lot of people say like.
Think about Tristan. He worked at a fudge shop and he's done well, and now he's left. He was working a normal job, and now he's. Think about all the people that find fame in their 30s, 40s. Like it's not over for you. If you're 18 and you're not world famous, your life's not over, mate. Don't stress about it. You've got ages to figure out what works best for you in your life, what you enjoy, what gives you the most fulfillment.
And the tough thing is, like you said, you've got to find something else other than your dream. Unfortunately, that you got, even if it's just a part-time thing, you're making money. You've got to find a way to fund your dream, and you've got to find stepping stones. Going into work in life is not just I'm just doing this for a bit and then I'll go and do my dream. It teaches you life skills. It teaches you your work ethic. It teaches you how to be a person. And you grow as a person from doing this. So if you have got dreams, don't go and work. Go and enjoy normal life, because that'll make you a better person for you. Especially if you want to do like influencing or whatever it is, and all these things. You've got to be a real person, have a lot of about you, and people you're not going to be interested if you've never ever experienced real life outside of one thing. And you do see that a lot of people. You can't connect with them, or you can't. They're just not the same.
They don't even know them who they are themselves,
because they don't experience real life, and they don't know how to deal with other people, or how to, if someone comes from one place in life and the other, and it's instantly judgmental because they have never experienced real life. So you've got to build your character.
Well, I completely agree. Like I've struggled a lot with mental health recently, sort of yearish, and I've got Asperger's. I'm very weird. I'm a hermit. I like to spend a lot of my time in my room where everything's the same all the time. I've got my routine.
Yeah.
I may be the most comfortable in my room, and I may feel the nicest, have the least anxiety, and like enjoy my time the most when I'm just laying in bed, just chilling on my phone, and only go to the gym, and that's all I do in my day. But that was also the most depressed I've ever been, because at the same time I was loathing myself. I didn't like who I was, because I was thinking, I'm such a lazy bastard.
Too
I'm
comfortable.
I'm too. Well, I was just thinking, oh, I'm lazy. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm whatever. And because of that, I felt shit about myself. But now that I've been leaving my house more, now that I've been doing more with my day, now that I've just been committing to things, I've felt a lot better about myself.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily how do I feel, how are my emotions reacting to the situation I'm in. It's, do I feel like I'm a good person? Do I like who I am? Do I like Kofi?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like Kofi when Kofi's inside doing nothing all the time. I don't like when Kofi's not being nice to people. I like when Kofi's going out, being busy, dedicating himself to gym and whatnot.
I think this is like a really good topic to talk about, and like I never really thought about it, but I do want to talk about mental health and stuff. 100%. And I think meeting you, I would never have known what you just said, because you're actually like really easy to talk to and not awkward at all.
Thank you.
Whereas like if someone said before, you might have had a preconceived thing of like, this person's going to be like this, but you're like, I'd say you're really confident and really easy to speak to person. So like that's definitely, from wherever you've come from, you've obviously done a lot.
Yeah.
And it's good to talk about mental health, because I've actually, the same as you, I've had quite a bad, like, when I'm not going to go into it in this episode, but had quite a hard.
You can do.
Just say whatever you feel like saying.
So when I was younger, I had pretty like rough, my primary school. I didn't get bullied. I more got outcasted because I was different and I was quite hyperactive.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, and just a bit different. I was quite aggressive, and I was just a bit different. But I was never a bully. That's one thing I never was. I was just different. Went to secondary school. I never changed the person who I was. You know what I mean? And then it got, when I was age 15, my dad obviously passed away, which wasn't like expected. It was just like happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, I didn't know this, but when I was 8 years old, my mum had terminal cancer, so she was supposed to die in a year. But obviously, I never knew this until my dad passed away, because they didn't want to tell me.
Yeah.
So they obviously like kept it a secret for the better of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were obviously going through all that, and then my mum had like chemo, and I struggled with mental health a lot, like really bad, and my way, like everyone's got their own way of coping with stuff, was to like I never got emotional. Do you know what I mean? I never. So like, if people are going through stuff like this, if you're not showing like emotion or stuff, you shouldn't think, oh, am I a bad person, and stuff like that. You've got to like, just different people deal with stuff different ways,
100%, yeah.
And I just struggled with that for years and years, and I like smoked weed, but not like smoked it recreationally for the fun. I was like smoking like ridiculous amounts, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like sometimes half an ounce a day of weed, like, and I just went like anxiety. I started shutting myself in the house and not going out and not socializing. And then one day I decided, like you said, I don't like this person I am, and I don't want to be closed off. And it's so hard to bring yourself out of that mindset. It's like, you want to go out, but your head's like, no, I can't do this. Like, this is just so anxiety. Like, and it's not because you're scared of other people or scared of what's going on. It's just this overbearing feeling of doom. Like, I cannot do this. Like, is that person looking at me, and stuff like that.
100%. Mate, I completely relate with you on.
It's just like
100%. Everything you said,
yeah,
almost identical to me.
It's just like, you're not, people say it all the time, like, you're not alone. But when you're in that mindset, you think, no, but they still don't understand. But honestly, people are going through the same things. You've just got to, like, if you met me when I was like aggressive, I didn't go out of the house, I was a complete like asshole, like, not to other people, but just to myself. I hated myself, and people can tell when you hate yourself because you're not you. And recently, I've just like got out of the house, gone gym, I stopped smoking weed, I've like properly got invested in my job and fitness, and obviously with a lot of help from Ben, even though he doesn't know it, is like going to like big events and stuff. Like, it's so, like, for me, you wouldn't think it, I'm so like oh yeah, come on guys, and I am not a socially awkward person. I'm really like into it, but it took me a while from that place to become the person I was before all this stuff happened to me. And now I've been to all these events and stuff. I find it so easy to talk to people, and like it's brought the real me out, and I've started liking myself. So like I just wanted to tell people like exactly the same as you. Mental health is a massive thing, and if you're like struggling, there's always like you like you said, you've come out your shell, and we wouldn't be able to tell that you'd gone through all that. And I'm sure people would look at me and think, oh, he's so outspoken, he's so loud, but every day still I go through real bad mental health struggles, but I don't bring that out with me. I just usually the happier people, there's a lot more going on in their head than you think. So just wanted to talk about, I wasn't going to bring it up, but
no, it's fine.
It's you actually mean well emotional listening to you then, but it's like I think if anyone out there is struggling, just listening to Ad's story alone, like, just blows my mind how you just managed to get through that. So if anyone is out there struggling, that's like proper choke me up.
I know. I was like trying to breathe, but I don't. Ben knows me, and I've never really talked. I don't really talk to Ben. I've told you Ben knows about this stuff, and I've never like brought into conversation. I want to use it as an excuse for why I'm in a bad mood. I'm just in a bad mood because I'm in a bad mood, and I've never ever put it on someone else, But it is good. Like I feel like fuck, trying to breathe, like
No, it's good, mate.
But I'm glad I spoke about it, because I don't like. I never tell people. I wait for them to really get into me, and if I feel like telling them, I tell them. But like. Man, just there's always a light side, and like I've gone through the worst times of my life, and I don't like to be a sob story, that's why I don't bring it up, and I don't affect other people's lives with it. But if it's going to help someone, I'll tell them, you know. So
100%. Like for me, a lot of depression I've ever had has always been along the lines of not liking myself, or not liking an aspect of myself. Like I am autistic. I used to really hate the weird OCD-ness stuff I would do. I would just hate every time I'd get oh, that's bothering me feeling. Just, oh, you're such an idiot. Like, why can't you just be normal? And I used to hate that.
Yeah.
And I used to hate I'd be too reflective, and I think, oh, these things I've ever done in my life that I regret and feel bad about for some reason. Like, it's about. It is in the past. It is whatever, and it's about finding reasons to like who you are now, and to like I'm sure you like who you are now.
Yeah,
you are today.
I mean,
a lot more than
I was before.
The version of you that was struggling.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same for me. Like when I was spending most of my time thinking about how sad I was just like, now looking back, I just think it was a waste of time. Because I was convincing myself I was more sad by constantly contemplating, why am I sad? But now I'm trying to be more embracing of my full emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
It's like, Tate said this. I'm like, since when are humans supposed to be happy? Like, you're not supposed to be perpetually happy.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to say anything to you that's going to make you go, oh yes, I'm really motivated. I'm really happy. I'm really this now. Like, no one's ever going to say that to you. It's always just going to be, got to get up in the morning. You've got to do what you got to do, and if you have a happy moment from that, awesome. If you have a sad moment from that, then it's just like you're human. Embrace your full emotional spectrum. Don't shut yourself off from sadness. Don't shut yourself off from anxiety. Embrace it. Understand it. Like, have experience with that emotion. For me, like being comfortable with being sad. One of the most important things, because a lot of people, they feel like, especially boys, they feel themselves starting to cry or starting to feel upset about something, and they're like, oh, whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it only makes the situation worse. Like, you just got to understand why you feel a certain way about something.
Yeah.
If it's about yourself, then you've got to understand what that thing is and why you feel that way.
Yeah.
If it's a personality trait that you may have, then it's maybe if it's other people that make you feel shit about it, maybe find other people. If it's yourself and you just don't like it for some reason, then it might be something you can change. If it's not something you can change, then find a way to love yourself, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's like what Ad said. Like, he likes himself a lot more now, obviously than what he was, but like so do I, and that's only because you went through that stuff, and to make yourself now like sounds like weird to say, but like there was a quote in some sort of thing, but I don't want to be friends with the ad who hasn't gone through anything, and hasn't come out the end of his side because he'd be boring. You know what I mean? I want to be friends with the ad now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a sick story to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, like it is good, and like I can connect with you massively on like it's weird, like to connect with, because you don't understand that other people go through shit, like you don't, and like and especially like mates like Ben and like Luke and Jay and stuff, like they've seen me at like different stages of my life and different ways I am, and you've got to like no matter how many, like your best mates will take the piss out of you, right? And I can promise you that I used to be so like uptight and hated being spoken to, and it used to like really bother me and like stuff like that. But your best mates, because they care the most about you, because they're just trying to have fun with you. The people that don't say anything to you and won't have a laugh with you, people that don't and like the people that really aren't there for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like speaking to you, I am on the autistic spectrum to a certain extent.
Yeah.
ADHD,
very similar, aren't we?
like, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? But like on
the ADHD and ADD, that's the classes on the spectrum, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And like the things you've said, it's like blow my mind a little bit, because like you say you over obsess, and before we spoke about this mental health, we just said that we knew we over obsess technically.
Yeah.
And you ask Ben, I over obsess on like things like massively.
Yeah.
And I go through stages of like, if like we'll play games and stuff, I'll sit there for hours on like creative, or like on when we used to play Fortnite, I'd sit there hours on creative, right?
Yeah.
And just study the game, and like Ben will come around and go, "What are you watching?" And you'll think it'll be like 100 pages of like one thing, like bodybuilding, like like literally like it won't just be like normal bodybuilding things. You'll like it'll be like technique this, and you're like what? And I over obsess on things, so it's like it's surprising to see that it isn't just me. You know, I'm not like just the only one. So been a massive eye opener, really.
Well, it's about finding the pros to that as well, because like if you don't like the fact that you over obsess over something, that Ben's just said, I'm assuming he's right that you have ADHD or ADD and you struggle with your attention span.
Yeah, massive.
You could try and take the positive from that. Well, look, if I'm over obsessive, that means I can dedicate a lot of my time.
Yeah.
If it's something I'm actually interested in.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's an example of me not necessarily struggling with ADD, because I can sit down and I can study this. I can focus on this.
It's got like massive like.
Well, like you're
just see it like you've got ultimate
like
autism power.
Like it's not something that's a bad thing. I would obviously, I get there's obviously bad times when it comes with it, but I would love to have a percentage of your obsessiveness when it comes to like the gym and the dedication to you have to like eating and shit. Like in your brain, it's like I have to eat that, otherwise this is just pointless. I'm wasting my time. Yeah. Whereas with me, it's just like, oh, I could just not eat that.
That's weird for me. Like that you've hit on the head. It's easy. Your mates know you, don't you? You obviously like a lot of your mates actually know a lot more about it than you know about yourself, and they'll say to you sometimes, "Oh, I've noticed this," and you're like, "How the fuck you know that?" Like I thought that as well. But like to me, like if something goes wrong in gym, it's not like, oh, like pass it by, it'll go, you know. Or if I don't eat, like if I don't eat at a certain time, or I don't eat the right amount of calories in my head, that's it. Like that is the doom of the day.
Game
like
over.
That'll be it, you know. Yeah, like it is, and it's hard for other people that don't have that to understand, but it is literally like could you imagine the worst thing in the world happening to you in your head? That is it. Like,
no, literally same. It's like if I have a set routine when I'm at home. If that routine's not right, then it ruins my day.
Yeah, and it is.
As I've gotten older, I've gotten better at managing
understanding
that.
It.
Yeah, and like just not letting it affect me as much. Like now I can leave something's messy and shit myself. But like I don't know. When I was younger, I'd like to have something. Have to do it. But like now I can stop doing that.
That is weird. I do this. Like I used to go like if I like was drinking something, or like if I still do it sometimes now. I've definitely grown out of it a little bit, but like I do like you know like I have to do that rhythm in my head to stop drinking the drink. Otherwise, I have to drink it again.
That's really weird because I've never like obviously been diagnosed with anything like that, but in any stage of my life. But when I was like 14 to like 18, that's all I thought about. Like if I kick that right leg of the table, I'd have to kick it with my left leg, or like
just stay normal.
If I just like for me, I'd have to do the left and then the right.
Yeah, to make it the right order. Yeah. Like or I just like
like both sides equally.
Like I just tap like that, and I've left that hand the last
You
tap,
have to
so
do
I'd
it
have to
again.
tap like it's just
And then a final one of both at the same
yeah,
time.
just just to even out. Like it honestly, like I thought about it the other day. I was, oh my god, thank fuck I didn't do that anymore, because it literally was like just ruining everything that I was doing. I felt like when I was talking to people, I'd just be like tapping, like, and I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, honestly, it's really weird.
Like, I would almost throw up, right, from drinking. Like, I drink like full fat Coke, right, and it just opened the bottle, right, and I'd keep sipping it, but I sipped it in the wrong rhythm. I'd have to keep drinking it, and like honestly, it got to the point where I'd like feel sick or like it's so
mate,
weird.
If I'm asleep and I'm really thirsty, I always keep a drink next to me. I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0 sips. Then that's it, and I'm hydrated. And then next time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. Next time 1, 2, 3, 0. Like 4 basically.
Yeah, that would stress
I
me
have
out.
to do that every time I take a sip of a drink.
Yeah.
Until
And it's not being. I know people say that's weird, but like I mean, in the technical sense, it is weird. Like we do that,
Yeah.
but in our heads, it's like it is impending doom. Like you cannot. It's like an urge. It's like,
doesn't get out of your head.
It's like
someone
for
just
people.
scratching the back
I mean,
of
I
your head.
vape, but it's like people that smoke. Like they have to smoke or they have to have something in their mouth. That's like it for us. You have to do it. Like I don't know why, but my brain just says you have to do this. If you don't do it, like it's not even like bad things happen. It's just like ooh, like
I'm trying to be a little bit better with that now, because obviously we were talking about weed. Everyone's got a vice. Like everyone's got something that they do that they enjoy. For you two, it's bloody vaping.
Yeah.
It's obviously, and a lot of that self-loathing as well that we were talking about earlier always comes from when if it's a vice that you know you should quit and you keep resorting back to it, and it's a lot of that. Oh, such a why. I started drinking again. I've started smoking again. Like, oh god, bloody hell! And for me, I've been trying to sort of resist that recently, just to give myself reasons to feel good about it.
yeah.
Because if I'm anxious, I want to smoke a bit of ganja, and I do. I always think, oh, and then when I don't, I'm like, look at me, I'm a normal person. I'm great.
Do you find that weed helped your anxiety?
Yeah, but it's not really the main reason. I just smoke because to be completely honest, just because I like it.
I found that weed like that caused like I mean maybe I was to the point where it's just ridiculous, but like I was like, and now I'm I'm never going to be the same person after all the stuff that happened, you know. But like I'm closer to my former self, like when I was in school and stuff. Like didn't care, you know. And
smoking loads of weed is such an crap to.
Yeah,
and it's literally like
so
one
bad.
of the worst things that you can. If you're smoking all day every day, just wasting days.
Yeah, and
just wasting life.
It is. I can't explain how bad. People say weed's not that bad for you, right? It is, right? I don't care really. I've got a first person and a first hand perspective on smoking too much weed, right? If you're smoking it okay for medical reasons, or you're smoking it now and again to chill you out, then fair enough. Like I don't think it's a bad drug at all. If you're smoking it every day, anything in the world is bad for you when you do it too much. And it actually sent me, I would say, to the point of almost going schizophrenic. Like I would literally, like one day I just suddenly went into this chip shop one day, loads of kids I knew, never had a problem with. It was just like, whoa, like there's so many people in here, like oh my god, what's going on? Like I don't understand what's going on, and it just sent me loopy. Like, and I think like I literally all I did was one day, and that's probably because of the way I am. I just launched my weed, like I think it was like 7 grams of weed in a grinder down the toilet. Tried flushing it like 100 times. Got the weed down the toilet. Obviously, I had to take the grinder back out and throw it in a bin.
I can do that for so much money.
I just never ever smoked it again, you know. And this has been the best thing I've ever done, because the first 4 weeks or so was like I couldn't sleep. It made me worse. I couldn't go out of the house, and now I'm like just a better person all for it. But
that's what I mean. Like that's your normal person would be able to just literally just chuck it away and do that, and that's obviously like you said earlier, like a downfall of like your personality, but also a good thing. Like your dedication. You told yourself, I'm not doing it again, and you literally didn't. And if you was to do it again, you would fucking.
And how
hate
sick
it.
did you feel when you out, and now that you haven't?
And it's so hard to think when you're in that state. The same with mental health.
It was like cigarettes basically at the same time as well. Like people watching that, if you smoke cigarettes or you smoke weed, like you don't like you will know how nuts that is. Like I just was like, I'm not smoking cigarettes anymore, and I'm not smoking weed, and just that was it.
Yeah, and it's not like
That was after years.
yeah, it's not yeah. Well, I was like, and it was obsessive. Like, I'm not just trying to exaggerate how much I was smoking. Like, I'm not trying to make myself like it wasn't a good thing, and it wasn't like something I'd like to go. People, this is how much weed I smoke. But I mean, it was getting to the point like
It's a conveyor situation.
yeah, like honestly, hundreds of pounds a day on weed. Like, and I was just smoking it every joint after joint. It weren't like little like point joints. It was like 2 gram joints at a time on my own, just smoking them. And it got like I was just going on, and it was just a comfort from the real world. You know, it was just an escape from reality. And I literally like when you're in that mindset, same as depression and mental health, with that impending doom of everything's on top of you, and you just don't want to like be there, and it's just like. It's so hard to, you'll never ever understand this unless you've got it, the struggle it is to believe that there's anything better than that. But I don't ever want to smoke weed. Like,
It's so weird. When you come out of it, you literally realise how silly like that sort of mindset
it's
is.
it's like that moment when you're really ill and you become unill, and it's just like, you can't believe that you felt that ill and you can't imagine it.
I can't believe I can breathe through my nose again.
It's like a sense of gratefulness, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
you're
like,
oh god, I can't
holy
even
shit, I
believe
can't
it.
believe I was not grateful about being able to breathe through my nose properly before.
Well, it's the same. I see the same with like the gym. It's like it always sucks when you first start doing it. You first start making that change when you first start whatever. But eventually, even if it becomes a habit or whatever brain science you want to try and say, even so, if you're doing something all the time, surely eventually you'll start enjoying it. Even if it's something you don't enjoy right away. Like, surely if you're just doing it all the time,
A habit, isn't it?
Yeah. So if it's something that's healthy for you, or something that's good for you, or something that you're proud about yourself, surely over time you'll be like addicted to it.
That's why I just love the gym. I
Or at
don't
least
think there's
enjoy it.
anyone in the world that wouldn't benefit from going to the gym.
100%.
I just don't think it's possible.
I just think humans should have shape.
Yeah.
Should always like.
And like people with mental health, best thing you can ever do. If you are an obsessive person or you've got something like, if I go in the gym, right, I'm not lying to you, like I could have the worst day ever. I could be thinking about like the worst things in the world. I step in that gym and in about 2 seconds after lifting some heavy weight, or not even, it doesn't have to be heavy. I wasn't like, you know, I'm just emphasizing on that. But like anything you're doing, it's just like instant relief. Like I just forget everything.
I know so many people that are very out of shape, and they excuse it by saying like, "Oh, I'm happy," like, but yet they'll still keep a t-shirt on in the pool. They'll still like feel like shit when they look in the mirror. They'll still compare themselves to us and feel. They'll still be the only one with their top on if we've all got our tops off at the beach, something like that. It's like you need to understand that you don't feel good about yourself for a reason in this.
Yeah.
Like that's something that you need to.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, find ways to feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing feels better than looking at yourself and thinking, I am good looking.
Yeah,
I am in good shape. Or
you've hit on the nail on the head there. Like
if moving is easy, feel better. You know what I mean?
And you got to be kidding yourself. Like, oh well, like there's got to be people out there happy with their size. This is not like hate on any like weight. I'm not gonna. 100%. You know, just not going in a bad way where we're saying, oh, if you're fat, like you might be happy, like fair enough, like, but just give it a try. You know, go to the gym.
Well, it's no doubt your quality of life would be improved. So if you're fat or you're overweight and you're happy, you're not happy because you're overweight. You're happy because your mentality is good. So why not just be able to like breathe a bit easier or live a little bit longer?
It's the wrong kind of happiness, isn't it? Because it's like
it's content.
It's happy because you're indulging in your like
just do whatever you want.
And you're doing what you want.
Yeah.
So that's why you feel happy.
Yeah.
But it's like you have no real fulfillment. You don't
got no discipline.
Yeah, well, it's that along with like you don't have this overarching like, I like who I am. I like the situation I'm in at the moment. I like my life. It's more. Oh, I really like this pizza.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
I really
exactly.
like this milkshake.
Take away the unlimited source of food and being able to eat it. You'll soon realize that you're not an happy person. The food is making you happy. Yeah. You're taking like something that you know isn't good for you and you know it's not going to benefit you in order to give yourself happiness. You take that away and give yourself a healthy diet, you will not happy.
People are kidding themselves. Just like this is a bit outright, but you're kidding yourself if you're if you have no discipline in your life, you've got to have something like, and a gym is a good like example for it. It's like you've got to have a goal. If it's your work, fair enough, right? If it's like a job and you're in, like, you've got discipline then. Or if it's like gym, like people go into the gym and you've got to pat yourself on the back. If you're going every single day or going the days you're supposed to go, you've got some form of discipline. And gym is like, you know what it's like? It's like, you know, when you play your favorite video game, or for people that don't like video games, like do your favorite thing, like it could be like anything, like your mobile phone game. You like driving your car and you beat a new like 0 to 60 on the speed track. You know, you're giving yourself something constantly in life to progress at. But like, and gym is so good for that because it's like your favorite video game. Like when you play a game, right, and you constantly progress your character, it's so fun, isn't it?
Every time, isn't it? Yeah.
Like how exciting it is when you play a game, like especially like GTA, for example, where you're constantly getting more money and you get a new car and you get a new building, and eventually that runs off, doesn't it, with gaming? But there's always new games to play. But with life, gym is one of the only things in life that you can obviously, there's certain points where, like, if you're natural as well, you will stop progressing, but that's a bit thinking quite like cynically, isn't it? Like, but it is something you can go into and you can constantly, no matter, there's some type of progression you can always make in the gym, and it gives you a drive to just be alive, you know. Like it's like your, like, that's a good example. It's like your favorite video game. You can constantly progress at it, so it gives you a reason to be there.
There's always something you can improve.
And exactly, that progression isn't like in a game as well that can be lost or sort of moved on from. That progression is something that everyone will see and everyone will know. Oh, he's leveled up.
And like, it's helping you in life. Like anything,
and if you're like not confident or anything like that, I guarantee you, even if it's 10%, 20%, 5%, you will be more confident once you build yourself a better physique. No, that's it.
I completely interrupted.
No, that was it. That was what I was saying.
A lot of people now, I feel like, don't even try and like learn new skills anymore. Don't even do, like, people like when I was younger, because I thought it was cool. I'd like bloody get the old 52 deck of cards out. Hey, pick a card.
Yeah.
I was like teaching myself magic.
Yeah.
I was like fucking finding whatever little like cool things I'd try and get better at them.
Yeah.
Even with like dancing, I still actually try and get better.
That's a good dancer.
Like, you feel so much better about yourself when you're improving at
girls
things.
love a good dancer as well. So
do you think, right, it's a good question, like people talk about these like, this sounds real, like, I'm just gonna say it, do you talk about NPCs now? It's a new thing, isn't it, right? Which is funny, right? Because I watched Full Send's podcast, right, and Elon Musk talked about
I saw that.
Talked about NPCs, and he talks about them, and do you think, like, it sounds really like big-headed, and like people say, like, you can't say people are NPCs because you're saying, I watched this guy and it's like, because you're basically saying that their resistance to life is not important. But that's not what I'm saying. But do you think there's people content in just being alive, you know, just like just being them, and I know, like, and just doing average stuff? Because you see a lot of these people going around, you think like what you can't obviously know what's going on in their life, but you can kind of get a good grasp of like, and you think there's people that just don't care, they just don't care about progress in life, or they don't have a goal? Do you think like you have to be a certain type of person to always want more?
I think I think there's like, that's literally just separating people who are genuinely happy from people that just are kidding themselves and they're not. Like, people that don't actually want to progress and say, no, I'm content, is deep down is because probably they're not happy with themselves, so they've just got comfortable. I don't think the human mind is just like, you're always wanting more. Like, that is just how it works. That's how we've evolved into going from eating fucking wood to fucking now sitting in this room.
But have you ever watched like you're like the people that really do make it in life, right? And I've always noticed this, like Eddie Hall's a good example, because I used to like be obsessed with him, and like one of my like main was one of my main lifting things. Like, I'm just obsessed with him for some reason. And like he says, and I've noticed that a lot of traits with me is like, he says, and I'm noticing it in you and you, like, you know, he says that I've just got this feeling that I need to do something, or I've got some importance in life that is just higher than being
what
normal.
You're doing, yeah.
And I don't know if that's a normal mindset.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like something. It's a hard question, isn't it? Because it's like it's hard to say, it's something you're born with, but it's also at the same time more like the way you're raised, and it's everything. It's every aspect of your being. Like, just like,
you must have found something that, like, you must have thought deadlift is my thing. You know, that you must have had some type of like feeling that this is what I've got to do, And do you think you're built with? That's built into you? Do you know everyone's got something in life they've got? Like I just get that feeling.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a mix. I think it's just a mixture of. Like I just think, like with Eddie Hall specifically, obviously he's got the bloody Hercules gene, and he's like got fantastic genetics, and he's he's an incredible swimmer, he's a criminal, whatever. He's just a great athlete in general.
Yeah.
So I think for someone like that, obviously they're gonna find enjoyment through that because everyone likes things but I think when it comes to like the difference between someone who works at Tesco and they don't have athletic prowess or like skill or talent, and then there's like an entrepreneur who owns a business who doesn't have a skill, talent. They're just good at talking to people. They're good at marketing, network, whatever. I think the difference between those type of people is just a decision, isn't it? Like it's just I'm just gonna go to work and that's it. That's fine. Yeah. Like, it's just a decision. I'd say it's more to do with like the culture you have around you and the people you have.
Yeah.
Than it is like your brain.
I think that's why I've always wanted to do something like not like I wanted to be a center of attention, but I've always wanted to do something that people remember me for. And I think it was just because growing up, none of my family did anything like that, and obviously they'd always say it jokingly, but because I was always the smartest out of like my siblings, wherever it was like you're gonna make us famous, like. They were like best grades, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like you're gonna make us millionaires. You're gonna buy us a house one day, like stuff like that. And it just, I feel like it is just how you grow up, and the people that think like say stuff to you, like it sticks with you. So now I actually think like, not think that this is definitely gonna happen, but I think like I need to like push myself in order to do it.
That's what I was trying to. That's exactly what I was saying. Like but you thought there was a higher purpose for yourself.
Yeah.
So there we have got similar mindsets. That's what I was thinking. Like just that's what I was trying to explain. Like there's just something a calling that I've got to do,
Well, yeah, that's.
I think it's ego.
You reckon?
I think it's more you see yourself highly in a way where you're like, I can't have a shit. I'm not gonna let myself have a shit life.
Because that's what I think in my head. Like I'm never content with my life. Like I don't. It's not because I want to be famous just because I want the fame, or I don't want to just be. But I want to be I want to, like Ben said, I want to do something in life that people remember. I want to be someone that like I want to make my mark on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Exactly the same.
Thing.
Exactly the same. Like I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to die and just be
the average. We just don't want to be average.
Oh, there's his tombstone. Like I want. Yeah. Exactly. 100%.
Who is that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was important because this, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always a cool thing to aspire to. Like you just want to be it.
I think most people want that though. Most people want to be important in some way, but there are just some people who are willing to do it,
or just,
or at least try,
or just have it. Yeah,
I think well, to be fair though, I know a lot of people that genuinely, from the bottom of their heart, don't about being like famous. Like from the bottom of their heart, they genuinely do not get.
Yeah, they're just happy being.
Yeah, because it's like it would be too much stress, or it's just not really. It's just not for them. I think that is just. I think that is the.
There are a lot of people that don't.
Because it's easy
really
for us
don't want to be in the public eye
with like some sort of following. It's easy for all of us to say like, oh yeah, everyone wants to be famous and everyone wants to be, but it's just like I think there are some people who just.
I haven't like broke that thing where I'm like because
not that we are like.
My following's like nothing like at all really. I'm still like in that world like still a nobody in a sense. You know what I mean? But I don't want to. I'm not here to like. I want to be famous and I just want to be like everyone else. I want to be me, and I want maybe for one day it to make something out of it. And people to start. Just like I just kind of want to be. I don't know.
You want to pursue the passion of fitness, and the only way for you to be able to pursue that passion is for the social media and the stuff around it to become successful, so that can. Because
that's the tools nowadays to become that, And I like my like inspiration is like Larry Wheels, Eddie Hall, and stuff. Like that's my master, and because I've obviously kind of found what I'm good at, which is lifting heavy. To a certain extent, I know my deadlift's not like up there with some of the people at the moment, but I know with my mindset I can get it to a place where it's impressive, So I don't know where I was going with that. But.
No, you see the potential in yourself, and you're really excited to see where it goes. And I think that's what it is for most people. They're like artists as well. Like I think music artists, They think, oh, I'm pretty good at kedging, right? Rhyming words and making beats. So they want to do it full time because they see where they might be able to go.
Yeah,
and it's always that, isn't it? I think as well, it's just about having belief in yourself in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Like whether it's someone in like instilling courage into you, or it's yourself noticing like, I'm pretty good at this. I think it's always that. I don't think there's anyone who's successful in the world where no one's been like, you're really good at this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think I'm not a massive fan of Andrew Tate. I don't dislike him, I don't like him, but I did agree with one of the things he said the other day. He's like, the problem with people is like, it's shunned, isn't it, to talk about yourself? Like people don't like talking about themselves, and I never 100%. Used to be like that. And until some people look like Ben and stuff like that, and say, "Oh, you're good at this," like it doesn't matter what I'm good at, but that's the thing, right? And he said, like, they're not even the main character in their own life, in their own story.
Yeah,
like they're just a side character, and all they are is looking at other people's stuff and going, "That's good," but they've got nothing to talk about themselves, and that is like really true. You need to find something that you got to be happy with yourself. So it's another thing about that, isn't it? Like,
well, like most people, people see that. People will see someone talking about something they're proud of, and they'll be like, "Ugh, what an arrogant." What? Don't you want to feel that way about yourself?
No,
like, surely you want to.
You want to be the main person in your life.
I'm so happy I did that. I'm so glad.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm so proud of myself for being that person.
Yeah.
Surely
you don't want to sit on the sidelines your whole life and be that guy that goes to the pub when you're 50 and go, I could have done this, I could have done that.
But obviously there's a difference between people who go out of their way to compare themselves and one-up other people.
Arrogant.
Yeah.
Everything's like, I know a few people you talk to and they're like, you just say the simplest things like, I drank a can of Coke today, and they were like, yeah, well, I drank 5. Just that type of person.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I know a few of them.
Fucking hell, that was good. That was sick. That was actually. I did not think that the episode would come out that well.
Yeah.
I think we've gone on for a while there. I think we can probably.
I have no idea. Your time's gone by so quick.
Call it a day.
Time flies by when you're having fun.
So obviously, Kofi, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
It was really good. But obviously, follow Kofi on everything.
Yeah.
What's the apps on everything?
At Kofi Tyrell, KOFI TYRELLO on Instagram and TikTok. Kofi Tyrell YouTube channel. That's all my platforms.
Yeah. Make sure to sub to the channel. Let us know in the comments anyone you want to come on, or any questions you want sort of me and Anna to answer in future videos, or you want us to ask to literally anyone who comes on. Follow us both on Instagram. Follow the TikTok page. And thank you so much for joining us again. We'll see you next time.
ENNIT MUSH.
ENNIT MUSH.